Episode 19. A red-headed woman was there with Trout. Kate could see her rummaging through the cabin, dumping drawers and knocking things from the shelves of cabinets. The woman came to her. "Where is it?" she demanded. "Linda Miller?" asked Kate. "Is that you?" Linda Miller had been in the 4th grade when Kate Barlow was still a teacher. She had been a cute, freckle-faced girl with beautiful red hair. Now her face was blotchy and her hair was dirty and scraggly.
"It's Linda Walker now," said Trout.
"Oh, Linda, I'm so sorry," said Kate. Trout jabbed her throat with the rifle.
"Where's the loot?"
"There is no loot," said Kate.
"Don't give me that," shouted Trout. "You've robbed every bank from here to Houston." "You better tell him," said Linda. "We're desperate."
"You married him for his money, didn't you?" asked Kate. Linda nodded.
"But it's all gone. It dried up with the lake, the peach trees, the livestock. I kept thinking it has to rain soon. The drought can't last forever. But it just kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter."
Her eyes fixed on the shovel, which was leaning up against the fireplace.
"She's buried it," she declared.
"I don't know what you're talking about," said Kate. There was a loud blast as Trout fired his rifle just above her head. The window behind her shattered.
"Where's it buried?" he demanded.
"Go ahead and kill me, Trout," said Kate, "but I sure hope you like to dig, 'cause you're gonna be digging for a long time. It's a big, vast wasteland out there. You and your children and their children can dig for the next 100 years, and you'll never find it." Linda grabbed Kate's hair and jerked her head back.
"Oh, we're not going to kill you," she said. "But by the time we're finished with you, you're going to wish you were dead."
"I've been wishing I was dead for the last 20 years, said Kate. They dragged her out of bed and pushed her outside. She wore blue silk pajamas. Her turquoise-studded black boots remained beside her bed. They loosely tied her legs together so she could walk, but she couldn't run. They made her walk barefoot on the hot ground. They wouldn't let her stop walking.
"Not until you take us to the loot," said Trout.
Linda hit Kate on the back of her legs with the shovel.
"You're going to take us to it sooner or later, so you might as well make it sooner."
She walked one way, then the other, until her feet were black and blistered. Whenever she stopped, Linda whacked her with the shovel.
"I'm losing my patience," warned Trout.
She felt the shovel jab into her back, and she fell onto hard dirt.
"Get up," ordered Linda.
Kate struggled to her feet.
"We're being easy on you today," said Trout. "It's just going to keep getting worse and worse for you until you take us to it."
"Look out!" shouted Linda. A lizard leapt toward them. Kate could see its big red eyes. Linda tried to hit it with the shovel, and Trout shot at it, but they both missed. The lizard landed on Kate's bare ankle. Its sharp black teeth bit into her leg. Its white tongue lapped up the droplets of blood that leaked out of the wound. Kate smiled. There was nothing they could do to her anymore. "Start digging," she said.
"Where is it?" Linda screeched. "Where'd you bury it?" Trout demanded.
Kate Barlow died. laughing. Part 2. The Last Hole. There was a change in the weather, for the worse. The air became unbearably humid. Stanley was drenched in sweat. Beads of moisture ran down the handle of his shovel. It was almost as if the temperature had gotten so hot that the air itself was sweating. A loud boom of thunder echoed across the empty lake. A storm was way off to the west, beyond the mountains. Stanley could count more than 30 seconds between the flash of lightning and the clap of thunder. That was how far away the storm was. Sound travels a great distance across a barren wasteland. Usually Stanley couldn't see the mountains at this time of day. The only time they were visible was just at sunset before the air became hazy. Now, however, the sky was very dark off to the west, and every time the lightning flashed, the dark shape of the mountains would briefly appear.
"Come on, rain!" shouted Armpit. "Blow this way!"
"Maybe it'll rain so hard it will fill up the whole lake," said Squid. "We can go swimming."
40 days and 40 nights, said X-Ray. "Guess we better start building us an ark. Got 2 of each animal, right?"
"Right," said Zigzag. 2 rattlesnakes, 2 scorpions, 2 yellow-spotted lizards. The humidity, or maybe the electricity in the air, had made Zigzag's head even more wild-looking. His frizzy blonde hair stuck almost straight out. The horizon lit up with a huge web of lightning. In that split second, Stanley thought he saw an unusual rock formation on top of one of the mountain peaks. The peak looked to him exactly like a giant fist, with the thumb sticking straight up. Then it was gone, and Stanley wasn't sure whether he'd seen it or not. "I found refuge on God's thumb." That was what his great-grandfather had supposedly said after Kate Barlow had robbed him and left him stranded in the desert. No one ever knew what he meant by that. He was delirious when he said it. But how could he live for 3 weeks without food or water? Stanley had asked his father. "I don't know. I wasn't there," replied his father. "I wasn't born yet. My father wasn't born yet. My grandmother, your great-grandmother, was a nurse in the hospital where they treated him. He'd always talked about how she'd dab his forehead with a cool, wet cloth. He said that's why he fell in love with her. He thought she was an angel." A real angel? His father didn't know. What about after he got better? Did he ever say what he meant by God's thumb or how he survived? No, he just blamed his no-good, pig-stealing father. The storm moved off farther west along with any hope of rain. But the image of the fist and thumb remained in Stanley's head. Although instead of lightning flashing behind the thumb, in Stanley's mind the lightning was coming out of the thumb, as if it was the thumb of God.